So my last question for today is, we talked about a lot of good stuff. Is there any other advice you'd like to share with my students, something perhaps we missed, especially for those students of mine who are first generation college students?
Well, we touched on a few, and I'll circle around to that. Let me talk about a practical thing that I wouldn't have maybe talked about 10 years ago. You know, I think with the needs of business change faster than college curriculums, okay? And right now, in the last several years, certainly the last maybe decade, technology's been exploding. And it's clear that it's having a profound impact on business. The public accounting or accounting profession is no exception. I mean, I remember 10, 15 years ago, we would tell a student, got to learn Excel. We still do, by the way. But that isn't, today's future professional, the student of today needs to be more nimble. Data analytics, artificial intelligence, gosh, data simulations are here, okay? And being software adaptable, software nimble is important. And that includes even something technical, taking maybe a second statistics course, taking a course in data analytics, learning software like Tableau or R or Stata, something like, but being software nimble. You're not going to know it all, but as technology changes, the aspiring professional needs to be nimble, be able to learn new software, new applications because they knew how to use some of the old ones. And so that's a practical thing, but a realistic thing that today's students need to do. I mean, 20 years ago, we talked about just how important interpersonal communication was going to be and still is, especially in the pluralistic work environment we're in, different people from different religions. Just the diversity of professionals. Look at the student body. When I was at UC Santa Barbara, there were a handful of Asian Americans, very few Hispanics, and Black Americans. Okay? Today, you have over 50% of the accounting student body or business student bodies female, and you have, especially in California, the emergence of Latinos, Hispanics, Black Americans, Asians. When I interviewed with the accounting firms and other businesses in 1980, I met one Asian American, I think at all the public accounting firms I interviewed at. It was the exception. That's not true now. So in today's pluralistic world, communication skills are important. Etiquette. I can't tell you how important business etiquette is. And someone asked me a great question about 2 years ago, approximately 2 years ago, and he said, well, Mr. Osaki, that's great, but you're talking about Western etiquette. Who are you to say that Western etiquette is best in a diverse world, especially where you have people who might be from the Mideast, Far East, Europe, anywhere? I said, you're right, except one thing. Usually the other party knows when you're trying to be polite, and that will resonate with them. So I still say etiquette is important. Etiquette bridges generations, right? And people aren't expecting it. So, one, I can't tell you how important having a mentor can be while you're in school and in your first job of your new career. Etiquette, the rules and behaviors of showing mutual respect to another person, whether it's at the dining table, in a business meeting, or just traveling out and about. Think of it, Ming, when you teach, how do you feel if you see people talking to one another, texting, or emailing each other? And you've prepared the whole week for that lecture. Yeah, that's right. It's the same for me. It's a turnoff. It's disrespectful. So, business etiquette. Third, understanding the things you've done in your life and the skills that they developed in you, and not having the blinders on and the emotional restrictions of no one's going to notice me unless I had an accounting internship, a Big Four internship, a national firm internship, any type of internship. That's not true. If you're engaged in an activity, whether a club on campus, a part-time job, a full-time job, and you're learning how to motivate people, how to bring people together to work in teams effectively, communicate effectively, taking the complex and making it simple, listening well, being able to improve existing processes, so demonstrating creativity and innovation, okay? Those are big words, but the behaviors, the activities that the individual has to demonstrate are relatively simple, okay? Diligence, organization, motivated. You know, when I talk about motivation, that can seem abstract. What is it about you emotionally that picks you up after you fall down? When you fail, you aim to improve. That's motivation. If you can think of the collage of the various things you've done in athletics, student government, clubs, community services, both in the public space, the church space, you'll find that you are able to articulate and communicate the things that differentiate you. It's when you stereotype yourself about what you should be instead of what you are and what you have done, that's when you end up being self-defeating.